that doesn't mean that, that I'm very perfect in doing. I'm also a learner like you. But for my purification and for my remembrance, for me to put on my devotional service nicely, I will do this workshop as an offering to all of you. So let me start with one famous statement. Srila Prabhupada, while he installed Krishna Balram temple deities, after performing the first arati, he gave a very beautiful statement to the devotees. I will start with that. He said, when a devotee with all his heart and soul serves Krishna, dresses him nicely, offers him arati, offering of flowers, boga, whatever it is, if you do that, Krishna smiles. And if you can get Krishna's smile upon you, even just for once, Prabhupada said, your life's goal is fulfilled. So this entire Krishna conscious process, by the mercy of Prabhupada, very beautifully has designed this bhakti as devotional service. So it's not just only one aspect. We have all through the different aspects of our life, we can offer it to Krishna. Okay. So to perfection of our life with this motto is to make Krishna smile, and that is perfection of life. So here I'll start with one statement of Srila Rupa Goswami. If you see, Rupa Goswami in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu has given 64 limbs of bhakti or 64 angas of bhakti. Those who have done Bhakti Shastri, they know. Out of all 64, one thing Rupa Goswami has told is the highest, and it's very important to perform rest of all the angas. Can anybody say what is it? Haribol, let's make it interactive. One anga. So Rupa Goswami says taking shelter of a guru is the highest. So that means we should take both Diksha and Siksha from a bona fide spiritual master. Why? Because bona fide spiritual master perfectly follows the path of Krishna consciousness in following the footsteps of previous acharyas. And it is a spiritual master who actually introduces disciples to the path of bhakti in the process of chanting, remembering the Lord and eating. He is also the one who introduces devotees to performing arti or devotional service. So for bhakti, there are two ways. One is devotional service can be performed as Pancharatrika Vidhi and Bhagavata Vidhi. What is Pancharatrika Vidhi? Pancharatrika Vidhi also engages you in performing different devotional activities like this arati and all. For Pancharatrika Vidhi is done according to rules and regulations. Bhagavat Vidhi is nothing but the process of chanting, remembering the Lord, hearing about the Lord from the scriptures. So it is very important for a devotees to adapt this process, both the process. So if you adopt both Pancharatrika Vidhi and Bhagavat Vidhi, you will quickly progress and advance in Krishna consciousness. So for all 64 angas, Srila Rupa Goswami has emphasized 5 important things. What is it? Association, Shravana, chanting, visiting holy places, and Archa Vigra Seva. So today we are going to deal about this Archa Vigra Seva. If you see all other angas, apart from these 5, some or the other, they are connected with deity worship. That is why you should understand how important is deity worship. Now you might say, Mataji, for this Yuga, Harinam Sankirtan is there. But Prabhupada said, for a person who want to quickly advance, both Pancharatrika Vidhi and Bhagavat Vidhi should be practiced. So deity worship is also very important for us. Okay. So by the way, I'm only giving you outlines. There is so much to say, so much to speak, but just for tomorrow, I will speak about the simplified version of deity worship. So what does exactly deity worship mean? Deity worship means only performing puja, arti. Is it limited to that?
No, Mataji. With our heart.
No. Yeah. In fact, deity worship has 5 aspects. So all through the day, these 5 aspects completes your devotional service or deity worship. So these 5 activities are very important. They are interrelated, interdependent, and all of them together encompassed to make devotional service. So deity worship means not just performing arti and you're done. No, all these activities have to be performed all through the day so that you have actually served your deity. So I'll go briefly. There are 5 aspects. First one is called abhigamana. Abhigamana means approaching the temple. So everybody have their altars. So everybody's house is like a temple. Wherever the Lord is given prominence, it's a temple. So abhigamana is the first step in your devotional service. What is it? Approaching temple. So what does it mean, approaching temple? Is it like a gross form of you walking into the temple? So this abhigamana actually speaks about how to approach the deity room or the temple room and how to perform and serve the deities. So it's both internal and external. So your deity worship starts with as soon as you wake up. So as soon as you wake up, you simply have to remember the Lord. So for that, it is said, for us to practice devotional service or to be Krishna conscious, it is recommended, our acharyas recommended that as soon as you get up in the morning, you remember your Lord, your Ishtadevata or your deities. And even before that, as I emphasized previously, that how your guru is very prominent in your life. First of all, you should remember and offer obeisances to your guru. And then your Ishtadevata. Okay. Our Vedic culture is so good, it will not leave anybody. It says, be grateful even to the bhumi on which you're standing. So that is why you have to first remember and offer obeisances to your guru, your deities. Okay.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Ishta Devta means
Ishtadevata is not your deities, they are your deities, or any of the deities from our Vrindavans or anybody. It can be that. So
Okay,
usually people with deities are with their deities, they should be the Ishtadevatas. The one you are serving can be your Ishtadevata. Or sometimes some people have their Ishtadevata, like somebody has a Radha Raman, somebody likes those form of the Lord, that is called Ishtadevata.
Okay, Mataji.
It's just a name. It's a name and term used. Ishtadevata means one which you like, one which is dear. Any form of Krishna which is dear will become your Ishtadevata.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay.
So Mataji, this Ishtadevata is not that our grandparents had in their home, or
Those are called Kula Devatas. Kula is your your family thing. Ishtadevata is one who is dear to you.
okay.
And here we are only taking one Lord who is master of all the Lords, Krishna. Okay. So in Krishna, there are varieties of rasas Krishna has. So whichever, if somebody loves Radha Gopinath, somebody loves Radhika Raman, somebody loves Radha Gopi Vallabha. My Ishtadevata is my beloved lordships Radha Gopi Vallabha. Or it can be Radha Raman, Radha Gopi Jana Vallabha, Gopi Vallabha. So many of your Ishtadevas. Anything which you want to meditate upon. And Krishna is so merciful, he will reciprocate for whatever name or whichever rasa you want, he will reciprocate. So that can be your Ishtadevata. Your Gaurnita can be your Ishtadevata. Your Nashsing Dev can be Ishtadevata. Okay, just I gave the name Ishtadevata means one who is dear to you. Okay. Next, afterwards, you have to do external cleansing. See, this Abhigamana literally means also cleansing. So Abhigamana is before approaching the temple, you have to do cleansing. What cleansing? External cleansing of your body and internal cleansing also. External cleansing, you just get a brush, bathe and wear fresh clothes. And especially for devotees, while bathing, it is recommended that you can simply chant some mantras or Hare Krishna mantra, simple Hare Krishna mantra, or there is this mantra called Om Apavitrova Pavitrova Sarva Vasta Gotopiva Yasmarin Pundari Kaksha Sa Abhyantara Suchi Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu Sri Vishnu. Or simple term of Sri Hari can also be chanted while taking bath. Okay. A lot of people who, if you have seen devotees, they while taking bath, they chant Hare Krishna mantra. What does this Hare Krishna mantra do? It does internal cleansing. See, idea is to clean ourselves externally and internally. For that, you're chanting, and externally also you're bathing. After bathing, you have to put tilaka, mark your body by chanting the names of Vishnu. Marking your body is very important. Why? because you're offering yourself to the Lord by marking. And it because Lord is sitting as Paramatma, this body is considered as a temple. And that's why you're marking your body. And also submitting that, Lord, I am your servant. Okay. And wear fresh clothes. Okay. Whatever you're doing, it has to be pure. Okay. So it is said, see, all these things represent your consciousness and mood. So for internal purification, I told you chanting of mantras. And after you bathe and just before approaching the temple or the deities, you have to do some purificatory processes. What is it? Like achamana and all. So some or the other, all these activities which you are doing should make you remember Krishna. Okay. So this abhigamana, what does it do? All the activities performed up to from getting up, morning Mangalarti till night you are sleeping. All of these or some or the other is called abhigamana. Abhigamana means something which is cleansing you. Whether you are reading, whether you are performing arti, whether you are cooking, doing any devotional service is a cleansing process. So entire day are we not doing some cleansing process some or the other by chanting, hearing Harikatha? It's a cleansing process. Okay. So this is called abhigamana, the first step. Okay, it's called abhigamana. Next one is called upadhana. Upadhana means, okay, after you have woken up, you have done, now you have to collect articles of worship. What is articles of worship? Like paraphernalia, something which are required to start deity worship. It can be flowers, bogha, tulasi leaves, arti plates, as whatever your standard of worship is, you please collect and arrange it so that you are ready to perform deity worship. So Prabhupada very specifically has told that as far as possible, you should offer first class articles. What does this mean? That I have a lot of money, but I'm very stingy in getting the best items. It's okay. I think I have an arti plate. I have some bell. I have some, it's okay. It's okay. No compromise while performing deity worship. If you can afford, if you can afford it, do not compromise on the quality of the articles. So you have to offer first class items for deity worship. Okay. It is also said that even one more nice item today I read is even collecting funds to take care of the deities or to maintain temple also comes under upadhana. Upadhana means simply gathering articles for worship. So even collecting funds is a part of upadhana. So collecting funds to worship deity or maintaining the temple also comes under upadhana. Okay. Third step is yoga. Please understand, I'm only taking very slightly of this. I'm touching about slightly. There are so much details. Each of them will take whole day of seminar, but I'm just doing simplified version. So third step of devotional service is yoga. What is yoga? Yoga is establishing and becoming fixed in one's spiritual identity. Okay. The first thing you bathed and you did is for external. Sometimes also you have chanted some mantras for internally. But the right consciousness for you to perform arati is identifying yourself as a spiritual. Your spiritual identity is nothing but what? Anybody? What is your spiritual identity? Yeah. So the third one is very important before offering your arti is to get into the right mood or consciousness of performing that arti. It is not something external or ritualistic that you're simply using your hand and your mind and the body coordination. No, that is nothing. You have to understand who you are. When you establish yourself spiritually, then that is called yoga. The third step is a proper consciousness. So how do we get into this proper consciousness? So there are some mantras, sometimes we perform achamana. So how do you do achamana? Anybody? So while performing achamana, we actually simply chant the names of Krishna. Okay. You know that by chanting the names of Krishna, we are cleansed. Okay. There are some mantras also which glorify Krishna. There are some mantras which actually are called Bhuta Shuddhi prayers. So as soon as the devotee collects the articles and is even before entering the temple, he has to perform these two steps. First step of remembering Krishna. There are some mantras which you can chant, or you can simply remember any of the Bhagavatam shloka or the shloka which is dear to you, which is glorifying the Lord. So the first thing is you need to glorify your Lord. Second is called Bhuta Shuddhi prayers. Bhuta Shuddhi prayers is actually the one which help you to identify yourself, whom you are. So there are some Bhuta Shuddhi prayers which tells that I am not this body, I am not a Brahmana, I have so and so designation, I am not this, I am not that, I am not this. Okay, but what are you? It says that you are the servant of the Lord. So there are some prayers which remind you or put you in a proper consciousness that you are not the body, you're not going to perform this activity with the body, ritualistic activity with the body, but you're going to use your inner consciousness. So there are some prayers which have to be offered. See, all these things are like a meditation of Vishnu. So they have to be performed so that you have a proper consciousness. While you're doing Aarti, you are in that proper mood and consciousness. What does consciousness mean? See, consciousness is nothing but the mood or the love. We say that, Krishna accepts love and devotion. But where do these come from? What depicts this love and devotion? What depicts this love and devotion? If somebody says, show me your love and devotion, how do you depict it? Grossly, you will depict it by giving some flowers or by giving some gifts. But what is a subtle way of offering? Subtle way of offering.
Feeling happiness, Mataji.
No, offering of your consciousness is what Krishna is looking for. Consciousness represents your love and devotion. So that is why before doing Aarati, we are preparing our consciousness properly. That is why it is said that even before you do Aarati, you have to start meditating on some of the mantras which will help you to put in a proper mood. Okay. And later on, there are some Mangalacharan prayers. Okay, I will take detailedly, but not today. Whenever I get time, I will tell you full version of all this deity worship. So there are some Mangalacharan prayers. You all know Mangalacharan prayers?
Yes, Mataji.
Anybody heard? Anybody read? If you see, there are some Mangalacharan prayers. What is this Mangalacharan prayers? Mangala means auspicious. But so how are we invoking auspicious? By remembering our acharyas, with their praniti mantra. Please understand, every deity, every acharya has their specific mantra. That mantra represents that acharya, or that mantra represents the Lord in that form. So these are called pranam mantras or praniti mantras. All these praniti mantras are nothing but you are remembering. Okay, just like when you're offering obeisances to Jagannath, there is a pranam mantra for Jagannath. What is it? Leelachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadraya Jagannadayate Namaha. What is pranam mantra of Gaurnitai? Namo Mahavadanya. Each deity has. So does each of the acharya in our succession, in our parampara, also have their pranam mantras. Just like Namo Vishnupadaya is for Prabhupada, even your guru has a pranam mantra. So always start this Mangalacharan prayers. Everybody, whoever is taking up this Krishna consciousness, must and should know Mangalacharan prayers. Okay. So Mangalacharan prayers also have some prime deities of Vrindavan. It glorifies Radha Govinda Dev. It also glorifies Radha Gopinath. So all these Mangalacharan prayers which we are doing just before doing Aarti, it will somehow or the other put you in a proper consciousness and make you remember Krishna. Are you all understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, Mataji. Yes,
So the fourth step of devotional service is called Ijya. Ijya is the actual worship of the Lord. So, but what does worship of the Lord mean? Just doing arati is worship? No. The main process of worship and offering of all the upacharas, including waking up, offering bhoga, doing arati, making them sleep, is called ijya. That includes actual worship of the Lord. Okay. I'm giving you briefly, I'm just going to talk about arati now, waking up and making the Lord sleep, offering of bhoga, that we can have another sessions, not now. So briefly in temple, what do they do? So since I'm talking about worship of the Lord, what exactly is offered in the worship of the Lord? So if you see, there are 64 items of worship. So 64 items include, as I said, waking up the deities in the morning, putting them to rest, offering bhoga, everything. So why do scriptures give us 64 items? Okay. But according to place, circumstances, time, as many as you can offer, as many as you can do, you have to do. So that is why in temple standard, it is said at least perform 16 upacharas instead of 64. At least perform 16 items of worship. In the temple, if you see, now you may ask, what are the 16 items of worship? These are called Shodaka Upachara. Shodaka means 16 items. What is it? You wake up the Lord, you give them a seat to sit, you invite them, you give them achamana, you give them brush to brush, you give them towel. All these items which are given to the Lord are called upacharas. Okay. So here it is said in the temple standard, at least 16 items have to be offered to the Lord. That is temple worship. If you can do it in the house, it is well and good. But for some or the other, when you're actually following deity worship, you sometimes give without knowing also. Like, for example, while offering bhoga, you invite the Lord to accept it. So if you're inviting a guest, do you offer him some place to sit? Asana on a dining table? While offering the food, you also invite the Lord, please come and accept it. So thereby, Pujari gives an asana. And then he gives water to wash his hands, achmana. What are these? These are called upacharas. So all of these in the entire deity worship comes to 64 items. Okay. See, again, I'm telling you, this is not complete version I'm giving you. I'm just giving you outline. So in temple standard, at least 16 items of worship are used. Why? Because we are in the fourth step, which is called ijya, the worship of the Lord. Okay. Next, 5. So 5 is very, very important. Very important. 5 is Svadhyaya. So as I said, devotional service starts with Abhigamana, means approaching the temple. That means cleansing. You have to cleanse externally, internally to approach the Lord. And then there is a second step, which is called Upadana, or gathering of items. All the gross items or paraphernalia of the Lord is called Upadana. Yoga is again establishing yourself as a spiritual identity, or identifying yourself as a servant of the Lord, so that you get a proper consciousness, or you be in the right mood to offer actual deity worship. Okay. Fourth is the actual deity worship process, which is called ijya. Fifth, which is very, 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 very important, is called Svadhyaya. What does Svadhyaya means? Cultivation of devotional service. If this Svadhyaya is not there, all the steps, 4 steps I told you, will become dry ritualistic activities. Are you understanding what I mean? It's a very heavy statement. Svadhyaya, or the cultivation of devotional service, if it is not there, all the 4 activities you have done, thinking that you are doing devotional service, is dry. Svadhyaya puts you in purity. What did Prabhupada say? Purity is the
Force.
Yeah. So what does Svadhyaya mean? Svadhyaya literally means self-study. Okay. So what does self-study has? Self-study has hearing, studying scriptures. Please understand, we are following sadhana bhakti. So sadhana bhakti requires you to follow some rules and regulations. And Aarti also comes under Pancharatrika Vidhi. Pancharatrika Vidhi means performing bhakti by following rules and regulation. So Aarti also, when you are performing, it has to be according to rules and regulations given. So the sadhana bhakti, when we are following, it's very important for us to follow rules and regulations. That is the first step in Swadhyaya. Hearing, studying from scriptures, following rules and regulations, and second is sadachar, behavior. Proper behavior also comes in Swadhyaya. Okay, and Prabhupada told, especially for ISKCON, he said, ISKCON is a preaching movement. Your one of the Swadhyaya is also preaching. Okay, not just studying or self. You said self-study, no, Mataji, let me hear, chant and study. No, Prabhupada said, ISKCON is a missionary movement. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come on a mission. So ours is a preaching movement. Okay, so he said, since ours is a preaching movement, what we should do? We are expected to participate in preaching, actively preach. Prabhupada said, all of you have to become Brahmanas. Okay, and a Brahmana is expected to preach. Brahmana's main job is what? Brahmana means one who gives Brahma Gyan. Are you all following?
Give knowledge.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's keep it interactive, or else it looks as if, singly I'm only speaking. So being in a preaching moment, we should all preach. But if you are preaching, what is the important aspect? Our consciousness should be proper. Why? Because if you don't have proper consciousness, you cannot understand the mood of the mission. Okay, that is why Swadhyaya is very important. Swadhyaya means studying of scriptures, hearing, following rules and regulations. And Prabhupada said, everybody, whoever is in the preaching movement, should study scriptures. He did not say read scriptures, study scriptures. That means you also have to learn shlokas, quote shlokas at the right place, at the right time to defend your philosophy. Okay, tomorrow somebody will come and tell something. No, you should learn, study your scriptures, learn shlokas, defend your preaching movement. So there are other aspects of Swadhyaya also. Just don't limit to self-study. This proper consciousness which comes from Swadhyaya should lead you to do other things. What are they? Serving Vaishnavas, respecting prasad, okay? Receiving guest. If you're in the temple, how do you receive? Serving Tulasi, serving Holy Dham. So please understand, deity worship is just not doing Aarti, or I'll give you steps of doing Aarti. It's just not doing that. This includes all these 5 aspects. If these 5 aspects are missing, you are not performing devotional service, period. I'm cooking, I'm doing Aarti. It all becomes ritualistic if you're not following these 5 aspects of devotional service. Okay, as I said, if you perform all of these together in a day, what do you get? You will get pure. That means you will get purity in your consciousness. That means you're performing pure devotional service to the Lord. If you're not doing all of this, it's a dry ritualistic things you're doing. So you understood? Any questions here? Should I go slow, fast, what? Because I have so much content.
It's fine, Mataji. We are able to follow.
So, okay, now let's come to actual deity worship. Okay, I can go on for different so much time, but in interest of time, let's go to actual procedure of deity worship. So, what does deity worship according to you has? Can anybody say? Most of you are performing some or the other kind of deity worship. Okay. What are the basic steps? If you have seen any Aarti performing, you see that Pujari is doing some Achamana, and then he's cleansing the articles to be offered to the Lord, and then he's chanting some mantras, and then he's performing the actual Aarti to the Lords. Okay. So let's see the procedure. So everybody has Aarti plates, right, in their house. Can you tell me what are articles or paraphernalia required.
Mataji, you need 2 Atman Patras.
Very good. Okay. You need bell.
You need a bell, 2 Atman Patras. Yeah, for
A
the
conch
putting
shell is required.
the
Conch
Yeah.
shell.
Yeah.
one ghee lamp.
One achamana patra for you, one achamana patra for Lord.
Yes.
There are dhupa stand.
Yeah.
There are deepas, which is this, and pancha deepa also. Anything you can wish. Daily you can use single, and for special occasions you can use this. There is conch, which is called arghya. Arghya is nothing but a patra with water is called arghya. Okay, we don't say jalam, we say arghya, and that has to offer in the conch. Okay. So if you see Bhagavatam, Uddhav Gita says that there are some articles which become pure by the time. As the time goes, they become pure. What is this?
Conch shell.
It's a
Conch
bone
shell.
of an animal, Mataji.
It's a bone of an animal. So, but do you offer all these impure things?
No.
No. But it is said in Bhagavatam, as the time goes, the conch shell becomes pure. And you also know that, how conch is given by Krishna's conch shell is what?
Panchajanya.
Who gave that?
That the demon, Mataji.
Shankachuda or Panchajanya is also called Panchajanya. So he is the one who gave. So Bhagavatam explains there are some articles which are impure, but they are offerable to the Lord. So even conch is also offerable to the Lord. Okay. And then next one is honey. Honey is a spit of honeybee, but it is offered. Okay. So then the next one is vastra. Then there is a plate for offering flower. There is chamara and peacock fan. I use 2 because I have nursing dev deity. I do 2 separate. I do special nursing arti. That's why I keep 2 plates. Okay. So now let's see the actual procedure.
Mataji, you might
So-
need one more if you are doing Guru Arti, right?
Yeah, that is later. Let me finish this up till this. Later and I'll tell you Tulasi and all everything. Okay.
Okay, Mataji.
So first of all, let's start the procedure. So as soon as you get up, you go and you collect. You have to collect 2 achamana patras. What does achamana patra typically have? It has a spoon, it has a patra, and it has a plate. Why does that plate is required? But while offering, in fact, plate can be used, or there can be a collecting vessel, extra collecting vessel. Like if I'm offering achamana, or if I'm doing achamana, especially if you're offering achamana to the Lord, the water becomes tirtha, or it becomes mahaprasad. You should not throw it. Okay, you should put it in a collecting pot. Okay, these are the steps which you need to follow. Don't throw achamana which is given to the Lord, that becomes prasad. So collect it in another pot, later on it becomes prasad. So now let's see how to perform achamana. So before entering your deity room, you have to perform achamana. Achamana is of 2 types. Simple achamana is the first 3 steps, which has Om Keshavaya Namah, Om Narayana Namah, Om Madhavaya Namah. How do you sip? So even after collecting water in an achamana cup, okay, you have to invoke the holy rivers. Why? Because whatever you're offering to Krishna has to be pure. If you are using Ganges water, no need to purify. But if you are using regular water, you need to invoke holy rivers. Okay. So how do you invoke holy rivers? Does anybody know?
Gange Jamune Godavari Saraswati,
Yeah.
Narmada Sindhu Kaveri Jarasindhu Sindhu Guru.
Yeah, very good. But please understand that as soon as there are some chakras, mudras, yantras, tantras, which the Brahmana is performing, but simple, I'll tell you, this is called Ankusha Mudra, which I use. Okay. Even before, I say, as soon as you collect, you keep it down. Immediately, the pujari does mudras, Galini Mudra, Surabhi Mudra, and Chakra Mudra, all these things, which even I don't know. But I only utilize one, which is called Ankusha Mudra, which is actually the one which we put inside the pot. We don't dip our nail, because it has fingers and dirt, we only touch on the top like this, and especially we use middle finger. And then there's this Galini Mudra, which I keep it like this on the top, and then I invoke by saying Gange cha Yamuna cha. What are you doing? You are inviting all the holy rivers to come so that it has to be offered to Krishna. Okay. And next, what do you do? After sometimes there are other things also. Some of the pujaris, after invoking also, they do bija akshara, which is nothing but Om. Okay, they chant 8 times Om, and then they perform all this, which usually I also don't do, but I take a simplified version. In our DT workshop also, it is said, if you can do all of this, it's best. But if you don't know, at least perform or invoke. See, there are two kinds of DT worship. One is the real offering of the deity worship with all the paraphernalia, and one is also called manasik worship. In the mind you can worship, or by offering this paraphernalia or the articles of worship, you can also worship the Lord. Okay, so after that, as soon as you enter, and then after you invoke this, what you do is take this water, put it in your hand, and just sprinkle like this, saying Om Astraya Fat. What does this mantra do? Om Astraya Fat is nothing but it is actually cleansing the Achamana Patra. So actually cleansing the place where we are going to do the deity worship, where you put the articles of deity worship. So everything has to be cleansed. So even the place where you are keeping the articles for worship has to be clean. That's why if you see suddenly sometimes pujaris, they take this water and they sprinkle like this, the place and area, and then they clean. What are they doing? They're cleansing the area so that they put Lord's paraphernalia to be offered to the Lord. Are you all following?
Yes, ma'am.
So later on, as soon as you enter, you ring the bell. Okay, if there is a bell, you ring the bell. And bell, I will tell you a very important thing. I've seen a lot of people. Usually in bells, what do you see? Bell is a servant of the Lord. Okay. Usually bells have some or the other devotees on it, either Hanuman, here Sudarshan, or Conch, or Chakra. I have seen people holding like this. No, the bell has to be hold. Never use this finger. Bell has to be hold, and here in midsection. And if there is Hanuman or a face, that Hanuman has to always look at the Lord. He should see the Lord. Don't close like this and do. The bell has to be holded like this. The deity or whatever the servant of the Lord is there, however the bell is there, it should face the Lord. So that is why you should hold it like this, and the bell has to be soothing, not like this, like this, like this. It has to be soothing in a way that is pleasing to Krishna, and this bell has to be above the your waist, not below your waist. Okay, that is why when you are even marking your body, you never mark tilaks below your waist. It should not go below your navel. You all following? So this has to be like this in upright, and very soothingly you have to ring the bell. Okay. So as soon as you take the bell, enter into the room, then you immediately start waking up your spiritual master. Any devotional service should start with your spiritual master. And what is the mood? It is not that you are qualified to do devotional service. It is just that your guru is qualified to do this, and you are simply the servant of your guru, or you are assisting your guru in performing devotional service. Whether it is arti or performing or offering boga or waking up or sleeping, everything should start with your guru. And the mood is that you are helping your guru in performing these activities. Okay. So wake up. So as soon as if you see the parampara, there is first your guru picture, and then there is Prabhupada picture. Whoever has still not yet taken the shelter of guru can take Prabhupada as their guru. Okay. So what you do, as soon as I go, I just put this hand in front of guru's picture. Okay. And then I just place it like this. Okay. And then I wake him up. There are some mantras which I will tell you later that comes in waking and sleeping. But anything you're doing, you have to do it through your guru. And the next thing is offering and waking up of your param guru. whatever you're doing, you have to do it through your guru, and Srila Prabhupada also has to be offered. The other acharyas are not given prominence. I'm not saying they're not given prominence, but we should make sure at least our guru and our param guru are given the first. They have given the first paraphernalia to be offered. Why? Because we are seeking permission or qualification, or rather we are assisting them in service of the Lordship. Why? Your guru's mood is also that he is assisting Srila Prabhupada. So that is why we consider our guru and Srila Prabhupada to perform any devotional service. Srila Prabhupada disciples, what do? They consider Srila Prabhupada as their guru and Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur as their param guru. That's a mood, because we are all coming in parampara. Your guru and his immediate guru becomes your shelters to perform any devotional service. So it's very important. It's a must that you should take shelter of your guru and shelter of your param guru. Are you all understanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So, okay. After waking up, as soon as you wake up the Lord, there is a procedure. I'll take it later. But as soon as the deities are woken up and the altar is cleaned, everything is perfect, immediate thing is you have to offer some bhoga to the Lord. Okay. Next, after Krishna accepts the bhoga, you clean that altar, and then actually the arti process start. Okay. So arti process is something which is an auspicious activity which we are doing. That is why we take a conch, right? What does conch do? Conch does two things. It tells people that an auspicious activity is being performed. Okay. It is reminding people that, oh, there's some activity performing, and it also breaks the ether, or it also destroys the negative energy around. Okay. So how do you blow this conch? It is said that actually, if you see, when conch is blown, it is blown 3 times. Okay. That is for an auspicious activity. But what happened when Akrura came? Please listen to this. In ISKCON, if you see, the third blowing is that they blow for some time and they break, and then they'll say, one small sound will come. The first one will be constant when you're blowing. Okay. Second one will be constant blowing. Third one, there is a break in that flow of blowing the conch. Please observe that. I'll tell you why. So when Akrura took Krishna and Balram to Mathura, just before taking them in the chariot, because it's an auspicious activity, earlier days our Vedic culture would ask you to drive away negative force or to invoke auspiciousness. They would ask you to do a conch. So Akrura, what did he do? He has blown the conch. Okay. So that blowing of conch, which is actually an auspicious activity, shattered the hearts of all the gopis and gopas. Why? Because that blowing of the conch shell separated them from Krishna. So that is why after that incident, anybody who used to do arati or invoking auspiciousness, they would never do the 3 constant flows of blowing. Why? Because if they heard that, it reminded them of that separation. So what did they do? In order for them to remind that this is different from that, the third blowing has been broken. Means they blow and then they stop, pause, and then say. So it is for the gopis to tell them this is not that blowing of conch by Akrura that separated Krishna, but this is an auspicious activity which we are performing in Vrindavan. So that is why whenever we are blowing, the third blow should have a pause and then one small blow. Are you all following what I said? Did you understand why we do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Hmm?
But it has a very, very
Yeah,
inner
because
meaning.
very, very inner meaning. So whatever, in fact, I don't have time, but I can tell you there are 2 modes of offering this artis. Beautifully, when I did the deity worship, I understood. In Vrindavan, how do they do? Outside, how do they do? In what way? Why are we offering all these 5 things? What do they represent? Why are they offered like that? So many stories are there. I don't know, even interest of time, I will not going to do it, but I would love to tell you, each one will take at least 1 or 2 stories of that. Okay. So, okay, you perform Aarti. So first I told you how the conch is blown, how the bell has to be holded. Now, there is a patra for cleansing. So whatever items you are doing, whether it is dhupa, so the sequence is dhupa, deepa, argya, vastra, and plate. Sorry, offering of flowers, pushpa. Then comes chamara, and then comes peacock fan. Okay. So dhupa means in multiples of 3, 5, like that you do. Okay. Please, whatever offering is done to the Lord, it is done in odd numbers, not in even numbers. In South India, we have this offering of in events, because they think that odd number is a very bad, but no. If you see entire Pancharatrika means 5. 5 is an odd number, right? So it has to be 3, 5, 7 in odd numbers. Okay. Dhupa also, when you're taking, minimum 3. Okay. And there are some mantras while offering dhupas are also there, which I will tell later. Then deepa, every day either single or 5, depending upon your interest. Argya is the water. Vastra is the cloth which has to be offered to the Lord, and flowers. So dhupa is, I'll not tell you what all it represents because it will take a lot of time, but please understand our entire body is made up of Panchabhuta. In order to, and this entire material world is also made about Panchabhuta. All these 5 items represent Panchabhuta. In gratitude towards Krishna, we are offering it back. Right? So this Aarti process is that in gratitude we are doing it and offering the items which are given by Krishna himself to him as an offering of gratitude. Okay. Now, I told you the articles which are needed for worship. Now I'll talk about the actual process. So whatever deity worship you're doing, it has to be through your spiritual master. And now, there are some Moola mantras. What are Moola mantras? So sometimes if you have observed, when everybody are chanting mantras or the prayers, all the kirtan is going on, you see a brahmana or the person who is doing actual deity worship, you see him chanting some mantras. What is he chanting? He's chanting, if he's giving arati, he says, see, everybody has a name. Just like we have a name, our deities also have name, and they are also addressed. Okay, in a respectable way, we are addressing the deities with their Moola mantras. Moola mantra means, for example, our Guru, Om Guruvaya Namaha. Okay. For example, it is Gaurnitai, Klim Gauraya Namaha. Okay. So how does it go? If a pujari is giving dhupa is said Esha Deepa. When you show the Lord Deepa, you say Esha Deepa. That means Esha Deepa Klim Guruvai Namaha. Means, oh Guru, please accept this Deepa. Okay. These mantras, I will tell you everything later. But please understand, there are some Moola mantras and there are mantras which are used to offering. Okay, simplified version of it is what? For example, my deity's name is Radha Gopi Vallabha. Okay, what do I do? Simply I say Esha Deepa. In your mind, you have to tell Esha Deepa Radha Gopi Vallabha Nama, Esha Deepa Gaurnitai Nama, Jagannath Baldev. Okay, all like this. It is a personal. You are addressing them and you are offering them. You just can't go and if your boss is there, will you just go and give him items just like that? You don't do that, right? With respect, you address him first and then you offer it, right? Whatever gifts you want to give him. Similarly, also to Krishna, what do? You address him and then with respect, with gratitude, with love, you offer these items.
Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandaprana. One question, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
In our house, I'm the one singing and then doing Mataji. So there is nobody else singing. So what do I do?
So you should meditate. So what you should do, sometimes our brain has a capacity to do 2 things at a time. So it is a consciousness which actually drives this Prabhu. Okay. So what you do, even I'm the only one who does singing. What do? But inside my mind, I may be singing with my mouth, but inside my mind, I tell within my mind using my heart or other. Sometimes I don't know how to explain, but you can tell it, oh Krishna, please accept. And simultaneously, you'll also be singing the Aarti. That I do.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay, it's just within the heart, you have to have that feeling.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay, ultimately, it's just not the way how you're singing, because you please understand, our mind is such a rascal. You will be focusing on the raga or the tune of that kirtan. But what is actually Krishna here seeing? Krishna is seeing the consciousness which you're offering with addressing him. So these are very important. Okay, that is why sometimes, in temples, you see they play Prabhupada's kirtan and they'll be offering. Why? Because they know that the mind can trick us. We'll be focused on the tune or anything, but we are not offering our love or consciousness to the Lord. It's ultimately devotion or the consciousness which has to be offered to the Lord. So when I'm addressing personally, I'm focusing on the Lord. Like, oh Krishna, please accept this. That means I'm focusing on Krishna, and that is what Krishna is looking for. Not the how many times you are moving your hand, how much best of the flowers you're offering, whether it is gold plate, silver plate, he does not see. He will see how you are connecting to him intimately. So these Mula mantras, what do it do? It makes the bonding between you personal. So that is why these Mula mantras are recommended. Okay, people may say, I don't know Sanskrit. That's okay. It is also said, sometimes it is easy to reciprocate with the Lord in your local language. There was this foreign Mataji, Mataji who has taken deity worship. She said it was very tough for us to say Sanskrit. So then in the deity worship, it is said, no need. If you're not able to speak Sanskrit, you're not able to tell these Mula mantras, if you're not able to remember this mudras, yantras, that is fine. What is Krishna looking for? Krishna is looking for your love, your consciousness. So you know what he told? Simply you tell, oh Krishna, or just simply the name of the deities, oh Radha Gopi Vallabha, please accept this dhupa. Gaurnitai, please accept this dhupa. Okay, Panchtattva, please accept this dhupa. In your local Telugu language also you can tell. It doesn't have to be in Sanskrit.
Okay, Mataji.
Okay?
Hanu Mataji?
Yes, Mataji.
Even I too don't know any mantra, Mataji.
No need,
I know
Mataji.
what you said now.
It is good. It is good if you know, because we have to follow rules and regulations.
I have
Rules
to
and
learn,
regulations.
but I don't know till date.
Yeah, that is fine, Mataji. That is fine. That is
But
fine.
I'm doing with
See,
my heart. I speak with Krishna early in the morning.
that's good. That's
And,
what you have to do. That's what you have to do. But eventually, we should come to that platform where we are offering. There's a procedure and process also. Okay, that is for the pure devotees. So we are all sadhana bhaktis. We are sadhakas. So everything has to be according to rules and regulation. Eventually, when you're following rules and regulation, when you are cleansed, okay, when you are come to the transcendental platform, okay, when you are liberated, then naturally the intimacy between the devotee and the Lord is different. Here the Aarti may look formal by using Sanskrit or anything, just like, why? Because we are in the mood of awe and reverence. We are servants and he's a master. That is the mood. In fact, Prabhupada said, even if there are Radha Krishna deities, you have to consider him as Lakshmi Narayan. You have no qualification actually to worship Radha Krishna. Radha Krishna worship is for the pure devotees. As sadhakas, you should consider them to be as Lakshmi Narayan and then worship. What does Lakshmi Narayan represent? Aishwarya Bhav, awe and reverence. So in the interest of time, there is so much. Actually, deity worship is nothing but it's like a Q&A. I just cannot tell the complete philosophy in just 1 hour. I cannot put it. Okay, for the program I have condensed, but there is so much I can tell you. It has to be Q&A. And deity worship, temple is different, home is different, and in homes also, depending upon your family requirement or your thing, deity worship can vary. Okay. Okay, now where are we? So I was talking about Mula mantras and some mantras which, but please understand the reason behind your addressing is that you are intimately connecting to Krishna personally. Just like, Suma Mataji, please take this. How good is it? Or please take it. If I say, it's very rude. But if I say, Praveen Prabhuji, please take it. Does it look personal? Similarly, when
Yes,
when you address your deities, like Gopi Vallabha, please accept this. Gopi Vallabha, please accept this Argya. Gopi Vallabha, please accept this. Oh Krishna, please accept this. Oh Guru, please accept this. Oh Panchasattva, please accept this. Okay. So next, Chamara. Chamara, all through the year you have to you have to use. Okay. Chamara is nothing but it is there are so many stories. If I go on, I keep telling you. Then there is peacock fan. Vastra is there. Peacock fan is seasonal. Only when it is hot, spring and summer can be used. Autumn, depending upon the situation and the area where you are. But it is said no in winters. But South India, the winters are not as peak and cold as North India. Use discretion to see that how the weather is in your area and use peacock fan. That is why it is said seasonal. Okay. So now let me come to the Aarti process. Having taken permission, first step you are going to do is Dhupa. Now Dhupa you may say, how should I offer Mataji? So there are two schools. Okay. Some of the temples, see, every temple has their deity worship and their standard. So some of them simply offer 7 times to the Lord completely. Okay, agarbatti or dhupa. Incense, it's called incense. We don't say agarbatti. Sometimes people offer dhupa also, dhoop stick. Okay, so what I do is I offer simple 7 steps. But some of the temples for feet 4 and for the waist 2 and for the body 7. Okay, so 4, 2 and 7 for dhupa. I'll send you the pictures. You don't have to write it. Next comes Deepa. Deepa how? 4, 2, 4 to the feet, 2 to the waist, 3 to the head and whole body 7 times. Okay. Next, Argyam. Argyam is you're offering the Lord to cleanse or like something to clean. Okay. So how do you offer? So you're giving Argya to the head and the body. You don't give Argya to the feet and waist. Dhupa, Deepa can be given to feet, waist and body. But Argya should always starts with face and then body. So 3 to the body and 7. This is all calculation in a chart. I will send it to you. Don't worry. Next, Vastra. Vastra means you're offering the Lord cloth. Just like after bathing, you wear fresh clothes, right? So please understand there are 2 different schools. Some of them meditate as an entire Aarti as just like Yashoda. Yashoda is taking care of baby Krishna. As soon as she gets up, she makes fragrance around the house. And then she offers, she's bathing her and she's offering clothes. She's offering pushpa to decorate Krishna's head. Some of them do in that mood. Just like as soon as Krishna get up in the morning, whatever the procedures Yashoda is doing, somebody meditates on that and they offer this Aarti like that. Some of them simply offer as a servant of servant. I told you as a gratitude, they offer this 5 different Panchabhutas to the Lord in the form of servant and he's a master. There are 2 different schools. Okay. So here what you're offering, you're all given a Lord water and then you're also giving vastram, new vastram. Like every day, just like we wear clothes, we are also giving clothes to Krishna. Okay. Two things we can say. Either we can think that, Krishna is given water to bathe and then you're also giving new clothes, or you can simply say you're giving Krishna some kerchief so that to wipe. So those details are different, but you're giving this so that Krishna is getting new clothes. Next, pushpa. Why do you give pushpa? Pushpa, any puja, I'll tell you very beautiful. Recently I did a seminar on flowers. So much is there about flowers in our Vedic culture. But basically puja comes from the word pushpa and ja comes from the word japa. Any aarti without offering of flowers and chanting of japa is not considered as puja. So the puja means the flower has to be offered. So please understand, pu comes from pushpa, ja comes from japa. So entire aarti is offering of flower should be there. and chanting of Vedic hymns are also must. Are you all following? So you're offering pushpa. So if Yashoda is she's offering pushpa, she's putting pushpa to decorate Krishna's head, to make Krishna look beautiful. But when we are offering pushpa, it means we are offering our love, our heart. I'll tell you one beautiful thing about flower. Entire Krishna, whether it is Srivatsa or his Pitambar, whatever clothes, whatever ornaments he has wear, everything he owns, right? If you see the body description of Krishna's body, entire his features, everything, Krishna is the one who owns it. The only thing which comes externally from others is flower garland. What is a flower garland of Krishna called?
Vaijayanti Mala.
What is Vaijayanti Mala? Vaijayanti Mala has 5 flowers, and any flower, that garland is below the knees. So please understand, flower are the only things which are offered by the devotees to Krishna. Everything he has. He has his crown, his Srivatsa mark, his Kaustuba gem, everything Krishna's owner. The external object which adorns Krishna's neck is nothing but flowers. So please understand, these flowers actually represent your heart and your devotion, and you are offering it to Krishna. So now you understand how important are flowers in our deity worship. I see some of them don't even have proper flowers to offer. Okay, I'm talking about myself, please. Okay, so all these items have to be shown to the Lord. Next,
Mataji, one more thing, Mataji. There are a lot of flowers that doesn't have smell. We shouldn't offer them, right, Mataji? Only flowers with smell.
Yeah, the flowers which are small, but okay, now how to tell? Yes, you have to offer the best of the flowers. Best smelling flowers have to be offered, but everything in the creation has to be utilized for Krishna. Krishna, even if you give the best of the smelling golden lotus, and if you're not offering with love, he doesn't care. Just like how Krishna had not gone to Duryodhana's cooking, but he has gone to Vidura's house and he took peels of banana. So, but what did Duryodhana do? Duryodhana made nice chappan boga with best of the qualities, golden plates. He has practically created a formal buffet for Krishna. But Krishna did not accept because there was no love. It was duplicity. So what did he do? He went to Vidura's house, and Vidura's wife, what did she do? Instead of giving the banana, she gave the peel of banana. So I'm saying is, offer best to Krishna, best smelling flowers. But if you have no access to flowers, you have any flowers, anything in this world which is there, it has to be utilized for Krishna's service. Okay, so if there are flowers which are not smelling, okay, you may tell, should I offer or not? Why not? Why not? Why you should not offer it? That flower will bear smell if you offer it with love. Just like Krishna did not bother eating the peels of Vidura's wife, Krishna is not bothered. He will only say, oh, with love, my devotee is giving. He doesn't even smell. In fact, with love, if you offer, anything which is lacking in that offering will automatically be coming. Okay. So if there are no flowers, why you can also always offer these flowers also. Okay. But I always said we should give best to Krishna. We should put all our heart and endeavor to give best to Krishna. I don't know what is the time. I haven't seen. There's so much. So I will give you the timetable how to perform. So again, I'll repeat. Dhupa is 7 completely. Deepa is 4 to the feet, 2 to the waist, 3 to the head, and 7 to the body. Argyam starts with face and body. Is 3 and 7. Vastram. Again, I told you Vastram also 2 different schools. Some of them offer 4, 2, 3, and 7. Means feet 4, 2, waist, head 3 and 7. Or I simply do 7 times. Okay, this is a very simplified version. One, there is a temple standard which they do with proper rules and regulation, how it is given by Narada in the Pancharatrika Vidhi system. This is how it is 4, 2 and 7. But simplified version is just offering 7 times to the body. Pushpa is again there for the feet. Always Pushpa should be offered to the feet. Okay. Pushpa should be offered to the feet, whether it is 4 times or 7 times. So it has to be offered to the feet. So 4 to the feet and to body. Sometimes it is said that, some devotees also do it for the body. As I said, there are different meditations of the acharyas. Some of them use that flower in the mood of servant and offer it to the Lord's feet. Some of them have a different mood and they offer it to the body, or they give it like a garland. So they do it for the body. There is so much variegatedness in performing arati. So that is why in one temple it is like that. Depending upon the mood of the Brahmana is performing or the devotee is performing, the details can change. Are you all understanding?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, Mataji.
And by the way, there are two, I told you, there are different ways. In Vrindavan, they perform the arti in the mood, or just like Krishna is a Vrindavan Vasi. What does it mean? It means that, okay, if you have seen, when you are performing arti, you do arti for Lord Krishna and you do the same arti for Radharani. Okay. So considering them to be individual persons, you are doing full arti to them individually. Okay. In one school of worship, what do is they take Krishna and they do full arti. Whatever arti is there, whether it is Dhupa, Deepa, Argya, for the rest of the people in your altar, they offer it as Mahaprasad, not like the original offering. Are you getting it, what I'm saying?
Yes, Mataji.
So that is why you see that people who offer whatever is offered to Krishna as Mahaprasad, they will not offer it to the feet. So that means if I have done Deepa to the Lord, the Deepa, when I go to Radharani, I do it, I give it as a Mahaprasad. I will only do it till her waist. I will not take it below. Why? Because it's disrespecting Krishna. Anything below navel, if you do, any Mahaprasad, it becomes disrespectful to the Lord. Feet should never be used. So that's one school. Or the other school of deity worship is individually you are performing. Individually
Krishna himself, he touched the feet of Radharani, right, Mataji?
But what is Radharani's mood, Mataji?
Yeah, her mood is different.
Yeah,
Always
that's different. That is a very esoteric. But when it comes to Aarti, you'd understand that Radharani, you think really Radharani likes Krishna to touch his feet?
No idea. Mataji.
No, absolutely not. Okay. Okay. So please understand, I'm telling you 2 different moods. See, understand the mood of worship there. In Vrindavan, it is different. In Mayapur, it is different. In different temple, it can be different. Even the mantras can be different. Okay. So that is why Prabhupada said every temple is independent and every temple, they can choose there. But there is an outline. There is some process which is laid down. Utilize that, but changes can be little different. So in Vrindavan, the mood is different. In Mayapur, the mood is different. So I'm telling you 2 schools. Some of them give all these arati as Mahaprasad to the entire people who are the personalities who are there in the altar. Some of them in one school of deity worship, they simply give full arati. Means just like how you are offering this lamb to Krishna, they also offer it to Radharani. Okay, individually they are doing. So choose whichever. But as far as what I do is I do individually. For Krishna, I do Aarti properly. For Radharani also, I will do the entire process of Aarti, which is recommended for everybody. Now, I'll talk about the altars. Okay. So Chamara and Peacock fan do not have any, count. You can do how much ever. Please understand the entire deity worship for your home. For your home, it can be according to your situation. Means either you are okay to do with 15 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 40 minutes, 1 hour also you can do, no problem. In temple, minimum deity worship is given as 30 minutes, and all the pujaris in different altars have to be synced up. I'll tell you one important aspect for people who are doing kirtans, and especially Mangala Arti, all the artis in the temple. Please hear and make a note. Okay. When pujari is doing arti, the singer who is doing kirtan should go as long as the pujari is doing arti. That means if pujari has taken up 30 minutes of arti, make sure that you are doing 30 minutes of arti. And I've observed in our kirtans, our kirtan is, Prabhupada told, our entire kirtan should be more of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. I have seen devotees singing two times, like Samsara Dava, Nalalita Loka, Tranaya Karunya Gana Ganatvam. So you sing once, the audience will sing once. Again, I have seen again the singer will sing Samsara Dava second time. Why? Thereby what happening? You are repeating and you are singing Jai Sri Krishna 3-4 times and repeating, and Hare Krishna mantra is last few minutes. No, Prabhupada said strictly no. Sing once, only once. That's why in Mayapur or anywhere you see, you don't see singers singing 2 times. Have you observed this? Anybody? You all have seen artis in the temple, right?
Yes,
Yes,
Mataji.
Mataji. In Mumbai also they'll sing one time.
If you have not seen, please start observing. That is a standard which Prabhupada kept in temple worship and even for us. So in temple or in the house, the time which the pujari is doing, that much time we should sing. Like means, for example, if you have observed, they sing kirtan, and as soon as the pujari picks up chamara or peacock fan, depending upon the season, their aarti is also ending. They start addressing the Lord. If I'm doing a peacock fan, you will see Jai Jai Radha Gopi Vallabha, they say like that. They're addressing the deities. Because the singer has to sync up with the Brahmana who's doing worship. For Guru Arati, it is reverse. Guru Arati and Tulasi Arati, the Brahmana should sync up with the Kirtanier. What is that? I will tell you later. But please understand, our movement is chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra, because that is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave. Whenever you are doing Kirtan, okay, see that you are singing the main Arti song, but most of it should be Hare Krishna Kirtan. Even if you don't know Arti, Prabhupada said simply say Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Okay, because that's a Yuga Dharma. Are you all following? So these are
Yes,
the
Mataji.
items which are to be offered. I will send you the way it has to be offered in a picture. Now let's come to altars. Now everybody will were wondering, my altar is like this, my altar is like this. How to do Aarti? I will tell you. First, let's take the main deities in your altar are, if it is Radha Krishna or Krishna Balaram, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra is there, Govardhan Shila is there, Gaurnita is there, other deities like Narsingh Dev is there, okay, Shaligram Shilas are there, Panchatattva are there, so many gurus are there. How should be the Aarti? Okay, so since temple has kept half an hour, their Aarti is different. In our Aarti, if we keep 10 minutes, 15 minutes or half an hour, how should be your Aarti? Depends upon the time you have set in your house. So now let's see. If in my house there is Radha Gopi Vallabha, right? So what do? I take permission from Maharaj. How do I take permission from my Guru? I just take an article to be offered and I ask permission 3 times. Okay. And then next immediately you also take permission from Guru, and immediately in your mind, you know, as if asking permission of all the deities, I go to Radharani, and then I just offer it once and say, please Radharani, on your behalf, I'm not qualified, but let me take your permission to offer this to Krishna. And for Krishna, what do? You start offering. And then the next I do are full Aarti. For Krishna, I do full Aarti, means all the offerings have to be done with the prescribed number of, these numbers are there, right? Showings, they're called showings. With prescribed number of showings, you have to do. That means I have to do Dhupa, Deepa, Arghya, Vastra, Pushpa, Chamara, and peacock fan with the number given. That's called complete Aarti, full Aarti. So I do full Aarti for Radha Krishna, full Aarti for Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Bai, full Aarti for Gaurnitai, full Aarti for Nashing Dev, because I kept my deity worship open. I am not restricting myself to 10 minutes. Sometimes if I am very ecstatic, I will do full Aarti for everybody. That's my standard. Please don't copy, depending upon you. Other deities, and please understand, Panch Tattva. Lot of it is said, it is recommended for other deities. Sometimes they show only three times. But specifically, having read the importance of Panch Tattva, and without Gaurnitai, without Panch Tattva, we don't have qualification. And Panch Tattva and Gaurnitai actually make us qualified to get Radha Krishna Prema. So that is why in that move, having known the importance of Panch Tattva, what do? Is I already have Gaurnitai deities, right? So when I perform full Aarti for Gaurnitai deities, when I come to Panch Tattva, I only offer full Aarti to Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, and Gadadhar Pandit. Okay. So next there are gurus. After Panch Tattva, there are Shad Goswamis. For Shad Goswamis, you can show three times. Whatever you're offering, three times. 3 showings. And then we have our Guru Parampara, immediate Guru Parampara. So for up till Prabhupada, I do 3 showings. Prabhupada full Aarti and Guru Maharaj full Aarti. This is my altar. Okay. Now if somebody says I have only Gaurnita and Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, how do I do? Jagannath Baldev Subhadra full Aarti, Gaurnita full Aarti, Govardhan Shila full Aarti. Okay. Some people sometimes they say Govardhan Shila you can do 3 times, but Govardhan Shila is not different from Krishna. See, again, you should understand what it is. Consciousness is important. So having read who Govardhan Shila is, it is okay if I offer full Aarti. Okay. There are other diseases like Nursing Their Photo is there. Sometimes Nursing Their Photos, they do 3 times. Panch Tattva, they say simply do 3 times. But I told you, having known the importance of Panch Tattva, I make sure I offer full Aarti for Advaita Acharya, other gurus. So if somebody has Sirf Gaurnitai deity, what do? When you have Gaurnitai deities, do full Aarti for your main deities. Panch Tattva, it said 3 showings, but I told you, you should do full Aarti for Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur, and Gadadhar Pandit. When some of them keep Tulsi Maharani. So some of them do full Tulsi Aarti, but when it is in the altar while performing Aarti, it is said 3 showings. Means show 3 times, not completely feet and everything, all those, but through 3 showings. But again, as I said, I don't do specific Tulsi Aarti. What I do is, whatever I'm offering, I do it in full showings. Full Aarti I do for Tulsi Maharani. Having known the importance of Tulsi Maharani, I do full Aarti for Tulsi Maharani. And Acharya's appearance day and disappearance day, when you know, you have to perform full Aarti. Even though it shares 3 showings, but on that special occasions, you have to do full Aartis for the Acharyas. And Prabhupada and your Guru Maharaj complete full Aarti. Okay. Questions? I will send you everything, photos, then you will understand. Now, any questions?
Mataji, I have one, not a question, but I'm requesting.
Yeah.
Is it practically shown sometimes?
What practically shown means?
I mean, practical Aarti.
Next, Prabhuji's and Mataji's.
Yeah, Mataji, I can show it practically, but I needed somebody's help today, and somebody has
Not
to focus.
Not today, Mataji. Any day is okay.
Yeah. That has to be physical, not virtual. You'll not understand. That has to be physical with explanation. But that's why I told you different altars where what need to be done. I will send the pictures to you also, what is given in the book. You will also understand. But I would request that everybody's deity worship is different in their house. There is no one standard rule which is given. Okay. But For us to quickly advance, we should do it with little higher standard than what we are. See, you set up a small standard in your house which is consistent for some time. Okay, but don't limit yourself to that only. When time is more and then you have responsibilities are over, you're all alone, it is very important that you proportionately increase your deity worship with the more time you get. Means if my kids are small, I only kept little standard of worship according to my situation. Now my kids are big. I cannot do the deity worship standard what Haripriya Mataji is doing. See, Haripriya Mataji is very high standard, but I'm telling you, she has small kids. Her deity worship is different. I have big kids. I cannot tell I don't have time. I can have a different mood and different way of doing deity worship. My standard can be little higher. In fact, we should all aim that we reach to the point where our deity worship is to the first class. Why we should not? So as I'm telling you, if Praveen Prabhuji comes and tells I do deity worship at 4:30, then that formula will not work for you and do not copy it. So please set up minimum standard consistently, but as the time is getting free and you're free from all responsibility, engage your more time in increasing the standard of your deity worship. Why? Because if you want to quickly advance, don't be neglectful or restrict yourself in not doing the highest standard. Okay?
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, actually, in Pune standard, right, be taking that permission by doing 3 times first Guru,
Yeah.
then Prabhupada, right?
Yeah.
But Mataji, someone said you should not do in that way. I don't know. They said you just show the back side of it, even the agarbatti, right? Don't show the front portion of the Guru first. Just show that the back, this side, then take in that way, then show that directly to the Krishna. If you're doing 3 times to Guru and all these, then it means you are first doing worship of Guru, you're not taking permission.
Yeah. So I can tell you different versions and variations of it, but Prabhuji, so the mood of you doing Aarti is that you are not doing Aarti, you have no qualification to Aarti, you're assisting your Guru in doing Aarti. So that is why what they do, instead of offering it straight, they keep it like that so that your Guru Maharaj is accepting that and doing on your behalf. That is one standard.
Yeah, okay.
One more is that you show 3 offering. That means that also includes that you are allowing your Guru Maharaj or you giving it to Guru Maharaj. Okay. So Prabhuji, I told you that different temples have different anything. And I'll tell you little even higher advanced philosophy. There is nothing wrong if I offer it to Guru and then give it to Krishna. Krishna says instead of my worship, you do worship of my devotees. It is more pleasing. In that context, I tell you, it is okay for me to show it to the Guru. I can argue with them in this with this philosophy. So please understand, whatever your local governing body has decided Aarti, please follow that standard. Don't try to take one from here, one from here, one from here, one from there. No. That for the temple president or the local people Prabhupada has given full independence on deciding the time. Somebody can start at 4:30, somebody can say 5 o'clock, somebody said 20 minutes of Aarti, somebody can say half an hour of Aarti. So that's time setting, the mood, the way it has to be offered can be different from each temples. Okay. So don't listen. But what is the mood? What is the mood in which you are of? See, that person is saying you offering it the backside. That's very right. In fact, you should also grossly also you have to exhibit. But everything, whatever Krishna accepts, is through subtle form. Your mood in which you are offering that agarbatti. See, Prabhuji, I'll tell you one important thing. I forgot. Please mark or etch these words in your mind, this statement. It is offensive. It is offensive to count while performing Aarti. While I'm performing Aarti, yes, it is said you offer 7 times. But when I'm personally offering it to Krishna, I'm in deep meditation. It is okay even if I offer 10 times also. It doesn't matter. The other person may think, he may count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Prabhuji did not do 7 times, he did 10 times. It is said in a scripture, it is offense to count all these things, the way it is being done. So external things, if you're observing, it's an offense. Okay. Does it clear? Lilananda
Yes,
Prabhu, you can also add if I have not tell the complete answer.
No. It's going on good. The only thing I wanted to say is this is a vast topic, and especially for most of us who are not trained in this, and you know, our parents have not done it this way. We've not seen it like that. Now we have deities, or we are aspiring to have deities. It's not going to get over in 1.5 hour seminar. Right?
Yeah, that's what. No, absolutely not.
So what I'm suggesting, next VSK visit, all the families please come. There will be a 4-hour session of everyone doing the Aarti one by one on a pseudo altar, where we want everyone to show what they're doing is right or wrong. We can do it together. What do you all say?
Or you can call me individually. I can talk to you one-on-one.
Yeah, that one-on-one is okay, but I would suggest collectively learning is also useful, and we can get into much more detail. See, there is a level of detail that Anuradha has given now. There is another level of detail you also have to self-study, and it's only your inclination and deeper relationship with God that you can go deeper and deeper. There's no end to this. There is no end to perfection and deity worship, right? And at the same time, only one thing I would like to say, Anu, if you permit, is first let us learn the standard and then get into bhava, right? First, let us learn the standard properly, minimum standard at least properly. Then let's talk about, okay, should I count or not, or should I do it? This is my internal prayer and all that. That's okay. But first, we should learn the minimum standard properly, right?
Oh yeah, that's why I told you, this is sadhana bhakti. We are not on the pure devotional level. Sadhana bhakti, Pancharatrika Vidhi, rules and regulation. I told them earlier, you have to follow what is given. So when you are learning, you should also make sure that you are doing 7 times. Get used to that doing as a proper showings they are given. The number of times it is done, learn that.
Vanilla Mati, can you please mute? Vanilla Mati, can you please mute? Yeah, thank you. Go ahead.
So what I'm telling is, it's very important for you to learn what is described, what is prescribed in our scriptures, how to perform deity worship. Yes, for first few times of until you get to this deity worship, please learn to put your consciousness that you are also doing it correctly number of times. But eventually, I'm telling you, don't get stuck with this external thing of counting, but not actually deep meditating. Okay, for first few times until you get the essence of doing the deity worship or understanding the way it is done, when you're comfortable with offering of all these paraphernalia, go beyond this. Okay, and naturally you won't believe your hand gets tuned. If you have observed, I'll ask everybody to observe. Naturally, sometimes sometimes I don't count, but I know that I've done 4, 2, 3, and 7. Your body will get used to it. Your fingers and your body has a memory. Naturally, you will be doing it. Okay, but for first few days, you have to follow how it has been given, how it has been told by our acharyas.
Yeah.
Okay. Sometimes your guru, by the way, please understand, sometimes your guru will tell just to give dhupa, deepa, and flower. That's enough. There are 2 aartis. There is, in fact, I have not completed yet. There are full aarti and then half aarti.
Don't confuse them now.
Not I'm confusing. I didn't come to the actual thing. So for tomorrow, day after tomorrow's altar, when there are a lot of deities, okay, how we can do synchronizingly is what I wanted to especially tell you. Okay, so Lilananda Prabhu said they will do individually for their deities. So forget about the deities. Who else are going to be other than your deities? There is going to be Narshing Dev. Okay, there is going to be a Panchtattva. There is going to be Shat Goswami. There is going to be the Acharyas and your Guru, because it's a public program. We will not display our Guru. But in your mind, whatever you're offering it to Guru and then Prabhupada. So all our aartis should start by showing it, by meditating with your Guru and start showing it to your Acharyas and then follow the sequence. So how do you follow the sequence? Your deities, you're going to do full aarti. Okay. And then next is Narshing Dev. If it's a photo or anything, just do it for Narshing Dev, full Aarti. Panchtatva, I told you it's up to you, 3 showing, but usually I do full Aarti for Advaita Acharya, Srivas Thakur and Gadadhar Pandit. Shed Goswamis, let's do 3 showings. Till Prabhupada, we will be showing 3 times, just randomly. Prabhupada, we will do full Aarti. So even in temples, if you have observed in Mayapur, both of the pujaris together, they blow conch together, they end the Aarti. So if you see, Radha Madhav has more deities and Panchtattva altar has lesser deities. So what does it mean? How come both of them are synced up at the same time and they come out at the same time? Why? Because the Radha Krishna altar in Mayapur has many deities. So instead of doing full Aarti, the Pujari will do 3 Aarti, 3 showings. Okay. So that everybody are sync up. See, both time should be set. In temple, it is fixed that 30 minutes use your Aarti. So the Pujari is up to him 30 minutes where he has to finish the Aarti. Whether you're showing 3 Aarti or full Aarti, it is depending on you. But when you're doing public programs and both the Pujari should be in sync so that people who are viewing also, there is a uniformity. Okay. So when you're doing public Aartis or public programs, or if the altars are side by side in the temple, or for that matter on Sunday's program, we should all do it in a uniformity so that it is pleasing for the viewer also. The entire Aarti process should be pleasing for everybody. It should be pleasing to the Lord, that we are uniformly we are offering our love to Krishna, and even the audience who are seeing, they should also feel nice. Okay.
Okay, so just one more thing, Professor Matajis, please hear this attentively, is that, Krishna allows us to approach in different bhavas. We know the different rasas, Shanta rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Sakhya rasa, Dasi rasa, Madhuri rasa. But Professor Matajis, let's not bring those rasas while we are doing the deity worship. We are completely in Dasi rasa when we are doing deity worship. Okay, so I'm thinking Krishna as my son, I'm thinking Krishna as my daughter, I'm thinking Krishna as my lover. Let's not even bring those thoughts. Okay, yes, we all have our swarupas. I don't know what we are in the spiritual world, which might take millions of lives to realize. But when we are doing the Aarti, let's learn the procedure, let's learn it. And one more small thing, normally what happens is our mind is such that when we find an exception, we want to go and easily implement that, knowing that it's an exception. Exceptions are exceptions only when extraordinary circumstances. Just like one thing that Anuradha said, some foreign devotee is not able to chant Sanskrit mantras, so what should I do? It's for that devotee, not for you. We are all born in India. If we can't chant Sanskrit mantras, there's a big problem. Okay, we might not be finding it easy to chant, but if you chant over a period of time, you will learn it. Right? I'm one of those categories. I'm very difficult for me to chant Sanskrit mantras, but over a period of time, you'll learn it. So let's keep a target to learn all these mantras and to perform it properly, learn it properly. I'm not saying overnight you have to become the perfect person. You have to start with writing it down like an exercise, and go and tell Krishna that, Krishna, don't think I'm practicing. Actually, I'm worshipping you only, but I'm trying to worship you in the right way. Please excuse me. Right? That can be one additional prayer, but do it properly, and over a period of time, you will learn it. All of us will learn it. And talking about this Sunday now, can we move on to Sunday program? Is that
no, just let me finish one thing. Okay, after you finish the entire Aarti, the Brahmana should actually beg for forgiveness for the offenses committed. So there are some prayers called Shodaka Upachara. What is it? What is the term called?
Aparadha
Shodana mantras. Yes, Aparadha Shodana mantras, which tell that Krishna, please forgive me for all the offenses I have committed. The gist is that, the essence is that. Okay, and the Pujari Aarti is complete when he removes all the paraphernalia, cleans the altar. That is when your deity worship is done. It's not that you do deity worship, put the plate and go off, and some other body is coming and taking. So these are some standards. This is what a temple Brahmana does. But again, I told you, depending upon your situation, we should all aspire to set some standard. As Lilananda Prabhu said, we should not look for loopholes where we are negligent of what actually we are supposed to do. But yes, the deity worship has to be first class, as I already told. Prabhupada said, set some standard which you can do it consistently. Every home is different. Do not try to copy or mimic somebody else. Okay, because it's very important. You should understand what is your nature, what you can do, and what you can offer best. Understanding your capacity is also very important. Depending on that, try to take up deity worship. Set a good standard in a mood that you are offering in awe and reverence, and do it consistently and aspire to increase it. Okay, that's a very healthy way of taking up bhakti. Okay.
Okay, so as I said, Mahesh Prabhu is going to schedule the next weekend at VSK sometime in May, and we're all going to meet on that day, Saturday afternoon, right? We all will go on Friday, but on Saturday afternoon, we'll have an elaborate session on practice workshop on deity worship once again. This is only introductory session, and I really appreciate nicely Anuradha nicely put up all the basics for preparing a consciousness for Sunday. So what's the plan for Sunday? I know most of you have many more questions on what she has spoken. You can hear the recording. Praveen Prabhu, just send me the recording. I'll keep it and send the link out.
It's in the cloud, so you have it access. It's in the your account cloud.
Yeah, no, don't do that. Make sure that you save it and the clouds can drift away.
Right? Is this my account or your account?
It's in my, but who is the host right now?
Me.
Are you recording it right now?
Yeah, I'm recording, but not in my personal device, Bhuja. I use cloud recording. So it's in your cloud, it's in your account.
I don't know how to access it. We'll see that after the call. I never do.
When you log in, you'll see it, Prabhuji, there only. You'll see it in there only when you log in.
Yeah. Okay. We'll because mine is linked to Gmail, and my Gmail account is already full. Most of the time recordings don't go. So it's always a safe option to save it on your computer. Cloud is cloud. Okay. Anyway, so let's see what happens next. Now the Sunday plan. Okay. So I know it's already 9:30. I don't want to take another 1 hour telling the Sunday plan.
Prabhuji, sorry to disturb you. Prabhuji, this will be on your Zoom cloud, Prabhuji.
Zoom cloud. Okay, let us after the call we will me and Praveen will discuss and try to access. Okay. Yeah. So Prabhuji and Matajis, now we're not going to spend a long time preparing for Sunday because it's already 9:30. Only thing I want to tell is Sunday is special because we are going to worship all our deities, right? And I told Radhesham Prabhu was very happy. He said, really? I'm going to see all the deities? He said, yes, Prabhu. All the deities will bring. So what I humbly request everyone is everyone come by 2:45 p.m. to the hall with your deities, right? Everybody with your deities come by 2:45 p.m. so that we will arrange all the deities. And there itself, I'll tell how are we going to do it together. Okay? Because now on the call, it's very difficult to explain, but simple. We might need 1 hour for hall decoration, keeping the posters and all that, then keeping our deities. And please, we also are going to order several garlands and all that, but you get your set of garlands for your deities. You're going to get a whole aarti plate of your deities, including chamara and peacock fan and your conch shell, right? And your tulasi also, if possible. Otherwise, we'll keep one tulasi for everything. That's okay. I think let's keep one tulasi and let's not complicate it. I'll get tulasi from my house. We'll keep it one place where I'm doing the aarti. It's good enough. Okay, but get your altar should have, Anuradha, you're speaking, but you're on mute.
Nobody does tulasi after 6 because if you're doing late night, nobody gives tulasi.
Okay. So no need to get tulasi there. So what am I saying? Yeah. So get your Panchatattva, get your Guru Parampara, let every single altar have the whole set. Are you all understanding? And if you are aspiring from a Gurudev, you can get your Gurudev's picture, right? Or you're already initiated, you are suspect to Gurudev's picture.
No need. It has to, no need. It's a public program. It has to be.
Yeah, that's okay then. Yeah, that we can skip if that's okay. If Anuradha is saying that's okay. We can get the parampara at least. Parampara, Panchatattva, Narshing Dev, and Parampara, and then 6 Goswamis, right? So Parampara, 6 Goswamis, Panchatattva, and Narshing Dev have to be there on your altar. If you don't have it, tomorrow is a very good day to shop. Go and shop. Go to ISKCON temple, get it. If your Aarti plate is not completely filled, please go and make it filled. Right? Tomorrow is the day for making sure everything is right, and get nice Achaman Patra for yourself. And we are not going to do any Abhishekam. Only Pushpa Abhishekam will happen at the end. So there will be a lot of service to pluck the petals and all that. I'm going to order for the flowers. If anyone wants to volunteer to go and get the flowers on Sunday morning, please let me know. I will let you know the requirements and we'll pull up the funds together. And what else? Yeah, so keeping the posters, arranging the deities, and as soon as Prabhuji comes, the lecture will start. And at the end of the lecture, the Aarti will start. After the Aarti, the Pushpa Abhishekam will happen. This is the plan. So, yeah, so Sirsha Mataji is saying flowers. Yes, Mataji. So I'll contact you. Yes, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. So I'll contact you. I'll let you know. There are flowers needed for 3 purposes. One is for the hall decoration. Second is Deity altar decoration. And third is for Pushpa Abhishekam. So I'll let you know, Mataji. So first of all, please come on time. 2:45 is not the start time from your homes. 2:45 is the time to reach the hall. Okay. And depending on where you're starting from, please plan accordingly. Laddu Gopals will be combined with the existing altars. There will not be separate Aartis. So if you're getting Laddu Gopal, maybe someone else will do Aarti to your Laddu Gopal, keeping in front of different altars. Okay. So main Gaurnitai, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, and the Parampara, everything will be taken care by devotees. Yeah. So any questions about the Sunday preparation? Anybody?
Yeah, each individual is going to get their own table. Separate table, are you going to order for all the deities?
Yes. We are going to order for separate. It will be a beautiful arena.
Yeah, that means you expect all the deities to be there. If somebody is having Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadramaya, and Gaurnitai, they have to get the entire altar.
Entire altar. Nothing else.
Prabhuji, you have the count, Prabhu? How many people?
I think we are around 10. I think we are around 10.
So for some, if you are getting one table is not enough. For everybody, you have to give two tables.
Prabhuji, I think it's more than 10, Prabhuji, if everyone is bringing.
Yeah, but I'm going to order 20 tables anyways. Right? So get a cloth for your table also. Nice cloth to decorate your table. It's your altar. Okay? So the table that I'm talking about, the function house tables that we get, we'll nicely clean it. And I'll get some gomutra, we'll just sprinkle on that, and then we'll keep the cloth, and then we'll decorate. And even the background will decorate. See, it's a unique thing we're doing just to attract the Supreme Lord's attention, also attention of so many devotees who are coming to the hall to see a nice festival of deities. Right? So Lakshmikant Prabhu is on the line. Is he there? Is he gone? Okay. So can somebody work with Lakshmikant Prabhu to make a banner for Festival of Deities?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Who is that?
Myself.
Oh, Akinchan Prabhu. Okay. Oh, Urujit is speaking. Okay. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah, please work with him. Send me a proposed design, Prabhu, and we'll close it. We will need it tomorrow. Tomorrow is the only day left. We can print it. The size can be a decent size. It doesn't have to be really, really huge. It should mention Festival of Deities with, say, nice. Even Radha Madan Mohan altar is good enough, like below. But Festival of Deities, something like that. Okay. Say
okay.
6 feet by 4. 6 feet by 4 feet, something like that. Huh? Okay. So, any other questions anyone has?
Prabhuji, we can do Aarti in the normal dhoti kurta with kandua, right? We don't
Yeah,
need
dhoti,
that,
dhoti
thing and all
kurta.
that.
Yeah, dhoti kurta kandwa is good. You don't have to remove your shirts. And
By the way, if Prabhujis are doing, let Prabhujis do. If Matajis are doing, let Matajis do. Don't intermix and do it.
yeah, let's all Prabhujis do it.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah, let's all Prabhujis do it. And get your conch shell, that you have practiced to blow. Yeah. Okay, so thank you for all your time, and I think it was a very useful session. We will also practice. See, I'll tell you, we will also practice it on that day. Not practice as in practice, but everybody's timing has to be right. Everybody's deepam, dhupam, dhupam, deepam, everything should happen. And when all the deepams will come, there will be a big plate on which everyone will keep, and the whole plate will go for everyone's offering. And when it comes to jalam, or argyam, all the water will be put into one single big container, everybody, and that will be used to go and sprinkle on everyone. All flowers will come on one plate, and the plate will go for everyone's, and from that plate, the flowers will be taken and taken for everyone. So these are the coordinations that we have to do together, which we'll plan on that day. So please come early, don't come late, so that you will be again, someone has to explain you what we have discussed. So 2:45 is the time. My Home Krishi, Clubhouse, 2nd floor, right? Please come there and we'll get started. This is on Sunday. And please, my humble request is invite all the people whom you have ever tried to inspire or have inspired to devotional service. Personally call them, ask them to come. Sometimes, the Lord's darshan in so many deities can change their hearts. Right? So many deities are there. Just imagine the power of it, right? All our prayers in our house are going to the deities, and all the deities are coming at one place. Just imagine how beautiful the whole scene will be, right? So it might inspire so many for devotional service. It might inspire what our philosophy cannot convince. Just that darshan might change it, right? So let's go ahead and call everyone for the festival, and let's perform the services. Tomorrow I'm going to call the tent house fellow for some water, tables and all that. There will be a book table. If someone has books, please feel free to bring the books. And I think Padmavati said cow products, please get your cow products. Any other questions?
So anybody has doubt, they can call me personally. I can speak to them one-on-one. So I told you, as I said, entire deity worship can be tailor-made according to your family situation. So call me up, and then we can do one-on-one. And I hope I have served you rather than confusing you even more, because this topic of devotional service is a vast and variegated topic. As I said, Krishna is Rasaraj. He accepts all the rasas with love and devotion if you are giving. So thank you for allowing me to speak something. Hope I have not confused more. If I have confused more, call me one-on-one. I can talk to you and clear your doubts.
Okay, so Dandot Pranam to all Prabhujis and Matajis. Thank you for joining. So next we'll meet at 2:45 on
Thank you.
Saturday afternoon. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you,
Morning.
Mataji.
And tomorrow morning also for Ekadashi lecture. Yeah, thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Pancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyev cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Gaudiya Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.